everyone and welcome back to Crows TV. Today I'm here with Michael Barrett, the club secretary of our beloved Crowborough. Mike, as a club secretary, what is your role?
So I do a number of things in the club. So I sit on the executive committee, but as a club secretary, things like going through the accreditation process, which we've got a 2-star accreditation here at Crowborough Athletic, and also the affiliation process, which seeing as it's pre-season is very relevant at the moment.
How long have you been at the club now? And how did you become involved with Crowborough Athletic? And what motivated you to take the position at the club?
So I've been at the club now for a year and a half, and I moved to the area about 2.5 years ago, and we came to a game, a pre-season friendly against Haywards Heath, and we just sort of fell in love with it straight away. The atmosphere, the people, the style of play on the pitch as well. Obviously, as somebody new to the area, coming out of COVID, didn't really know anyone, so didn't have any friends to go for a beer with or come and see the football with. So I was sort of looking for a voluntary role, and then I saw, probably more by luck than judgment, I was on the website looking at the fixtures, and they were advertising looking for a club secretary. So I had a look at what the role entailed, because I had no idea, and I thought, yeah, I can do that. So I applied and met Malcolm Boyes, the chairman, up here in a cracking game against Tunbridge Wells on the Boxing Day, and the rest is history.
What are some of the key tasks and challenges you face in your role? And how do you ensure that the smooth operation of the club on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so the key tasks, so as I mentioned, affiliation, accreditation, doing those sort of bits and pieces and tasks that we have to do for the club to operate effectively and to be in the league, to be in the FA Cup and things like that. The day-to-day running of the club, we've got a fantastic committee. We've got a really dedicated chairman, Malcolm Boyes, as I mentioned, vice chairman, Phil Tibbett, but also the rest of the committee. We all pull together, and actually everyone plays to their strengths, which is brilliant. It's not just a volunteer filling, a bum on seat. It's somebody who's really passionate about the club, whether they've supported the club for a long time or maybe they have children playing in the youth section. Some of them are also coaches, so give up a lot of time for the club. So that makes things a lot easier from a day-to-day running of the club perspective.
Could you share any recent achievements or initiatives that you have spearheaded as the club secretary?
Yeah, so it's that time of season, and this time last year I led a couple of initiatives. So first of all, player sponsorship. So for just £50, supporters, people associated with the club, whoever can pay £50 and sponsor a player for the season, they get a shout out on social media, and their name goes onto the website on the player's profile page. And that was really successful last year, and I think that this year it will be even better. Everything that's new sometimes takes a bit of time to bed in. Another thing, another COVIDism to sort of go back down that path, the club didn't have a club shop when I joined the club. So I got in touch with Ange, the founder of Towel Sports, which is a sportswear company based in Wales, and they set us up an online shop, which again has been really successful. And as last season went on, more and more people had Crowborough hats, Crowborough scarves, Crowborough jackets, t-shirts like this one. So that was really good. And finally, player registration for the youth teams. As you can imagine, we've got kids from under 6s, boys and girls, all the way through this year to under 15s. So registering those players and having them part of the club, taking payments, in the past has been really challenging. Stacks of paperwork. So we moved it online on our website, which is hosted by Pichero, and we leveraged that functionality to make it easier for both the coaches, who give up enough of their time planning sessions, taking sessions, but also the parents of the children that play for the club.
Yeah. Not only are you the club secretary, you're also a coach. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so there was a gap, and I hate to keep using the word COVIDism, but the age group that I take, which is this season's under 10s, so next season's under 11s, back at the start of COVID would have been the under 7s. And so there was no team. So obviously you play for that team as well. So it was natural for me that I have an interest in coaching and sort of wider things of football, as well as being club secretary and part of the committee, to pull that team together. And so far, we've got 9 sides coming up next year, and we've got 9 players that have verbally committed to coming. So yeah, welcome to the club then, and hopefully we'll have a good season next year.
As a veteran, how has your military background influenced your work as a club secretary? In what ways do you bring your experience to the benefit of the club?
I think the key here is the sort of organisation, time management, working under pressure. There is pressure because clearly I have a day job. So I have, if you want to call it a 9 to 5, whatever hours I work. And then this is on top of that. And again, you throw coaching into the mix as well as the club secretary role. It can be quite intensive. So time management and organisation are really key. And veterans, I'm sure if any are watching this, I'd like to think that we have them in abundance. And obviously with lack of time comes more pressure. Sometimes there's deadlines, and again it's balancing work, family and football club into one mix.
You recently organised a Veterans Game. Can you provide more details about this?
Yeah, the Veterans Game, so supporting Phoenix Heroes, phoenixheroes.co.uk if anyone wants to go to the website. They are a PTSD, so mental health, community interest company based in Colchester in Essex. Now I've known them since they were probably as an organisation a few months old and were only helping a few people. Since then they've positively spiralled, and so now they've got a community of 500, maybe 600 people, maybe even more at this stage. And so of course with more people that they're looking after, and there's a huge family focus, which again there's a good synergy with the football club on that side. So they're looking after all of these people, and they have to have funding come from somewhere, and clearly that has to come in the form of donations. So I spoke to Gary when I was at the English Veterans Awards with him, and said, look, club secretary, I have a stadium that we can use. Why don't we put on a football match, and why don't we tap into the veteran community? So fast forward to the Veterans Game, and what we had on the pitch here was a mix of veterans, and some of them was their kids, and that's just as important because, like I say, it's that family aspect. And if you're in the military with kids, that's hard enough, having to go away for 6 months at a time, sometimes a little bit longer as well. But also if you're unfortunate enough to suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, having family together is so important for that veteran and the wives, children, husbands.
Yeah. Continuing on with the Veterans Game, how was it received by the participants and spectators? Are there any plans to continue hosting any similar events in the future?
Yeah, definitely. So I was really proud actually of how the Veterans Game turned out. So focusing first of all on the spectators that came, I think thank you. It was great to see the amount of people that came and showed their support for the armed forces community generally, and of course the veterans who have PTSD. It was great. It was probably similar to a Tuesday night game at the Crows, so it was a really good turnout. The participants, and hopefully some of them watch this video, from what I can gather and from what I've heard from Gary, who's the CEO of Phoenix Heroes, it meant the actual world to them. It really did. Now, the magic of it, and I guess the proof is in the pudding here, is that they've now started their own football community. So the Veterans Game has been a catalyst to bring more people together in a social environment to come and have a game of football. And when you're on that pitch for 90 minutes, nothing else matters. The blinkers are on, all you see is that game of football and your mates around you. So the next game, unfortunately it's not going to be here at Crowborough Athletic. It's a friendly against another charity who are based in Essex, so it's being hosted in the Southend. But looking forward to that. It's a great start for the community, and hopefully we'll have another few games throughout the season, and then hopefully we'll come back here for the end of the season, maybe in a different format, maybe similar. There's a bit of planning to do there.
Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And up the Crows.
Yeah, well done, thank you.